We are here, part 2. This time we're talking about cyberbullying. I'm Robin. This is my friend Celia, who is not a bully. And we are Bolly Moms on the go.
Yes.
So not that long ago, we talked about bullying.
Yes.
Just in general. But while we were talking, we realized that this is a big topic. And so we thought we needed to expand upon it.
Yeah, especially because we are connecting more and more with the online world in so many ways.
Like right here.
Yes, right here. And our children are exposed to more and more of that content.
Yeah.
Whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
And all these social platforms, like I don't know, when the teenager at some point they have a phone, so they kind of hang out and connect with others that they know or they don't know.
When younger and younger, they have phones now too, because you know, if they have to take the bus or something like that, lots of times they're getting phones.
Yes.
Even before teen years. Yeah.
And it's about also safety online for them.
Yeah.
Because they're exposed to, or they also act certain ways when they interact with other people.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's the definition of cyberbullying. It's about connecting online.
Yeah.
And talking and bullying online.
Yeah.
Wherever they are hanging out.
Well, and what is the definition of that? To one person is not the same necessarily to another person, and so so understanding perception as well. You know, and I think we talked a little bit about that in the last one too. So I think that when we're looking at electronics, it's so different from when we grew up. So it can be difficult to really understand about it, like and how they are living online, because it's a huge part of their world, you know. So mine are 16 and 13, and yours are younger. So it is even different as you look at the different ages that they're at. And in the same way that sometimes when they are part of a group and they think something is funny, they behave differently than they would as an individual. And the courage that they have to sort of step outside of the group is sometimes not possible for them. You know, it feels out of reach. Yeah.
I think there's really a difference between like when they are together and behave certain ways, they kind of bully or have an attitude that is maybe not nice for the other person.
Yeah, they think it's
But
funny.
when they're behind the screen, that's a totally different one because they're hidden in some ways.
Yeah.
And it's easier to snap at people and say bad things.
Yeah.
And that's where we have, as parents, to teach them how to behave, and they are responsible.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't matter if they're in front of people and say something, or they're behind the screen and say something. Because what matters is that the person behind it, like face to face or behind the screen, will read it, will see it, will see the pictures, the text, the whatever is shared. And it's a human being. It's not a screen.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing, right? So the ease of doing it online is kind of scary because they don't have to face that person and see the reaction from the person. And so if they have, or, you know, we know our kids have good moral compass. You know, they do. We hope.
Yes.
We've tried so hard
to guide them to like be good.
Yes. But you know, if you're looking just at a screen and you're just typing, it's so much easier because you don't actually have to see the outcome of what you've caused.
And that's where we have a part of really educate our children to be responsible to whatever they send out online. It's there. And it's going to have an impact positively if they send something good, but also negatively when the person perceives it like, oh, it's an attack or something.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I think that some parents sort of kibosh electronics altogether. For our family, I don't think that's the answer because I think it's more important personally, and this is just my opinion, you guys, but I think it's more important personally to educate our kids how to use that stuff responsibly versus take it away completely, because then you're just creating a situation where they feel the need to rebel or, you know, and so instead we try to guide and have awareness as parents.
Especially because we have no idea how it's going to evolve. Like all the online work for them, we evolve with so many, I don't know, so far behind, like we're going to be lost with that.
Yeah.
But we have to guide them and we have to teach them how to use them, have to communicate and take fully 100% responsibility about how they behave online, whatever they do.
Yeah. And then also how to communicate if someone is behaving badly online to them. So we talked about safety. So my kids and I have a lot of communication about talking to people they don't know, because this is a big part of it, is that friends mean something very different online, you know, and think social media platforms, which we're posting on right now, give the sense of more friends, you know, and they don't actually know those people. They don't know who is sitting on the other side of that screen. So educating them on what that looks like, but also educating them on how it's okay, no matter what that person has said, to be able to come to you or a family member or police, or, you know, whoever they feel the need to a teacher, whoever they feel the need to communicate that something bad has happened online, whether that's directed at them directly, or if they're seeing something in a group, you know, those sorts of things. And so giving them the education on reaction. Right.
And another part is about for parents to really be aware about where they're hanging out on the social platforms, because there are so many types. There are like the ones where you have videos, the one where you post, the one where you text, and there depends if they make an account private or not private. So you have to be aware when you give a device that what do they do, and then you also have to have an open conversation with them often about what do they see. Because there's a lot of scary things that we also hear as parents, like, oh yeah, there is adults doing bad things with young ones, and then so
even the videos and stuff that they're watching, inappropriate content.
So you want to really have an open conversation about what they feel when they see certain things, or what they read about certain weird comments, or like and then talk about, okay, what did you post, or why was it funny, like really have an open conversation about anything online. So they feel safe connecting with you.
And even things you see, you know, like sharing things with them and saying, you know, see this, somebody posted this, this is very inappropriate, giving them that context of how to translate what they're seeing, right? Because sometimes they have a difficult time, you know, their brains are not fully formed yet, so they have a hard time translating. But, you know, another thing that comes up though, and this is a challenge, is how much do the parents look at what they're doing online, you know, like that gets more difficult the older they get. When they're young, I had no problem getting on their computer and looking at what they were looking at, and you know, but now my son is 16 years old, like, so there's a line, you know, and I had conversation with the mom and about whether I should be reading his private messages, you know, like, because they message each other excuse me, on Instagram and things like that, you know, and her comment was that it would be very similar for when we were kids, our mom coming in and reading our journal, you know, so
there's a limit. Where is the limit?
There's a line, you know, and so in our family, and again, this is just how we run things in our family, I give them rope, you know, trust, and they know that you have this trust until, you know, and so they haven't yet given me any reason to not trust them, so they have that trust. But it comes with this fear, because I'm giving them trust and I'm not looking at what they're looking at all the time. And so those predators that we're talking about could access them and I would never know. You know, so then I have to trust, but educate, and then, you know, like there's all, it's a real
many layers. There's many layers.
It's like a real tightrope.
Make sure you engage an open conversation both sides.
So my son does have a public Instagram account, but he also has a private one that I am not a part of, you know, and he said to me, he said, Mom, I want to be able to talk freely with my friends, you know, without
being awkward with, like,
and I think that's fair, because he's, you know, he's been a good kid and he hasn't lost my trust yet.
But that's a good
Hopefully
one.
never.
That's a good one, because especially my son is at the age where I see parents also discussing about, okay, should we give device, which app, and they're like wondering what to do. So I think it's a really nice conversation to start. And we might add more about online things. But there's so many things to say. So
it's terrifying being a mother, you guys.
Well, we learn. We're on the learning curve always, with the ups and downs, and then and the bumps, and sometimes a big smile, but that's part of the journey.
Yes, that is. Yeah.
All right. So our insights.
Number one.
So the first one, so know where your kids are hanging out on social platforms. So you're not like, oh, you have this app and this app and this app, so you feel scared, but be aware.
Even if you're not seeing every little thing, at least you know. But
you're aware. Yeah.
Number two,
communicate. So make sure you have an open conversation with your child, that your child feels safe to say whatever. Yeah. Whatever, good or bad. And also help build the trust.
And moms and dads, don't just say, how was your day? Get detailed. Get information. You know, how was your day? What did you do? Ask leading questions.
Yes.
So that they feel, you know, and I know you guys, I got teenagers, I know they're just like, you know,
I don't want to talk.
But
okay.
we have to make sure they know that they can come to you. So if they come to you with something that's a little bit over the edge, be cautious on your reaction, because the next time they won't come. Yeah. So just, you know, hold tight, mamas, hold tight.
Yes. Yeah. Deep breath.
Yeah. Deep breath.
Okay. Yeah. Be there to hear.
Number three.
Understand that you have a responsibility and they have a responsibility to behave. So you have to teach them as a parent, and they have to also learn about how to behave.
That's right. They have to understand that they have responsibility online.
Yes.
That to be, you know, a good human being.
Yes.
You know, like I just said that to my son this morning, be a good human, you know, so they have some responsibility to how they treat others as well.
Yeah. Because whatever they send online is there forever. So, build that.
Okay. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah. So
keep going, mamas.
I'd love to learn about your
strategies.
Views about cyberbullying. What do you do? What have you done? What are you planning to do? Because because it's a big,
or your stories if you've experienced it. Yeah.
Share, you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.